no matter where you are, no matter when you are. Good morning. It's actually nighttime. I'm about to eat my dinner and do some research. We're going to be covering the very important Supreme Court decisions that were made in the past 48 hours, mostly that of presidential immunity. So I'm going to let Khalil and I explain over narration while you watch me take some live notes. 8-hour news cycle. Yesterday, I did a lot of research and a lot of reading. Today, I'm going to do a little more. You're going to see me eat my dinner, some live notes on my board. But Khalil and I are going to talk over it a little bit as you watch that happen. And then you're going to watch Khalil and I have a little conversation about what we think moving forward. And then you're going to do a little wrap up with me at the end. So without further ado, remember to like, subscribe if you haven't. Really appreciate it. Otherwise, let's get into it. I'm really excited to talk about it. Well, not really at the same time. I'm really excited to inform you about it. All right, let's get to it. Hello. Okay, so the Supreme Court decision grants immunity to former presidents in court cases if it involves official presidential acts. Now, I'm going to start off with something that I hope people register. This would excuse Nixon. Watergate wouldn't be a thing. Like he would have been allowed to spy on his opponents in his political battle because back then he was, hold on, let's see if you can see it from my view. Nixon dash spy commie, maybe. Because he tried to justify it by saying, I think my political opponents are communist. Well, now you could use that to try to actually justify it in front of a court of appeals because it doesn't necessarily have to go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, hey, we will allow it to be decided by the district courts first. So it means it can go up to Supreme Court cases, but district courts are allowed to make decisions on things like this. That's insane because Georgia just decided that it was cool for Trump to call their governor and ask for, what was it, the like 1,000, how many votes was it he asked for? Like a specific number. He's like, can you find this many for me so I win? It was like 11. It was
like almost 12,000.
Yeah, it was crazy. And so that would just be fine now. Because this is a retroactive based on another decision that they made the same day. They made 3 landmark decisions in 48 hours that are all bananas. One allows corporations to get away with whatever they want. The other allows the president, if they were former, to get away with anything during court cases as long as it was for presidential official actions is the wording they used.
Which is very vague.
Exactly. So this is why I brought you on, Khalil. I want to play a little game called Is This a Good Thing or a Bad Thing? And I know the joke in you wants to answer, so just play with me here a little bit. Don't instantly just say the opposite of what we all know. But this is scenarios that I have thought of that a president could do. Now, my original joke was I was going to present you with the ones that are bad, and I was going to present you with like a printed stack of at least 60 pages, and then like the good ones I could think of, and it was going to be 2 pages. But I don't have enough paper to do the bit, nor do I want to waste that much environmental resources. But I used my whiteboard this time to make sure to help.
Like a cropping.
Video settings, right here. Mirror video. Everything's right for you, right? You can read this?
Woolly mammoth.
All right, Let's go. This is the board I made while live studying on camera.
Supreme Court.
All right, so this is the coulds. I'm not going to spoil this. This is where we're about to do. All right, I'm going to ask you some coulds that the president, or former presidents more likely, could try to spin in a Supreme Court or district court case to say it was an official presidential action they took. And in other words, it was to protect the presidency, protect the country, or protect national security. I believe now the president could, as we have already just talked about, assassinate their political opponent as long as they used the government military. In other words, an official branch of the U.S. military. They could issue...
I said SEAL Team 6, baby.
Yep, so that's one. The president could now fire anyone they wanted. There would be no reason to have congressional or Supreme justices go through a process. They could be gone because that used to be illegal for the president to do. There were still steps and boundaries that they needed to stay within. So that's another one. Get rid of student loan debt because it was ruled a crime. It was ruled a crime when it was tried to be pushed through. So now it could be ruled as, well, it was an official presidential act, so it's therefore immune to being a crime. Now, mind you, these don't mean the things you do are no longer crimes. This means you're immune to something that is a crime, openly a crime. So there's our third one. All right, we can get 2 more in here. Let's get a goofy one in here. If a president wanted, they could choose the winner of the Super Bowl for the next 5 years.
This is true.
There was a commerce law passed by the Supreme Court, and now this one that would allow them to tamper with private businesses if anyone was okay with it. But then if they weren't, the presidential could now say it's an official act. It's national security. If the Patriots won again, half the country would be on fire. Prove me wrong. All of a sudden, they're immune. If a president wanted to start a pseudo country in another part of the world and claim who is allowed to live there and claim who is allowed to collect taxes based on donations made by that country to our own country, that would now be allowed without voting. Do any of these sound tantalizing?
What was the one you said about about opponents?
SEAL Team 6 could now take out your political opponent if you think they are a communist or a threat to national security. You could spy on them if you think they are a political party that is disinterested in American politics, but you could probably take them out if you think they're part of a coup or a terrorist organization. Which people claimed Martin Luther King was part of a terrorist organization, and that is why the huge theory out there exists that FBI and COINTELPRO are the ones who assassinated him.
So, save face. I would say it's a bad thing.
I want to thank you for your time. I'm gonna go finish up being really happy about our country's decisions.
Well, wait, hold on.
Okay.
I will say though, getting rid of student debt, perfect. Love it.
Even half it.
Even that.
Because then that way people can't complain about like, oh, it's wasting so much resources that we don't have. Well, hey, at least it's only half. Yeah, I mean, we could activate a lot of new resources now that the one of the commission bills passed with the idea of commerce is that now people can sue organizations like equity organizations and labor unions and saying, stop making us hire minorities. We're now only going to hire people we want. And if a company comes out and says that, it's like, hey, man, that was a lot of exposure on a lot by you. I will catch up with you soon. Goodbye.
It's been fun. Bye.
So, what are my concluding thoughts on all of this? It's not good. No president should have immunity from a crime. Again, just because they commit the crime doesn't mean it's not a crime. No, it's openly known that it is a crime, that you're just receiving immunity. It's important to note, standing presidents, as in the president currently in term, has immunity until after their presidency to be tried for crimes. This gets rid of that. This means a president doesn't have to be worried about crimes they're committing in office because now they have immunity if they can think of a good enough reason. That means they can plan crimes. This means they have a lot more power than they used to. This means everything our founding fathers fought for, to not have a king, is gone. Also, imagine having a ruler who chooses one religion, and I'm not saying any one religion is right or when any other one is wrong, but think about it like this. This country was founded for one reason: religious freedom. And then it grew to many other reasons, but religious freedom is the top one. And listen, when we think about it like that, I'm going to throw examples on the screen right now. This is insane. This is what we're dealing with in our country. And it might not even get overturned because people are going to be worried about these new Supreme Court decisions. They're going to be way more worried about what's going on in this election. We could have a king. We could have people being forced in public schools to be a religion that they do not want to be a part of. There's a lot happening all at once in the United States right now. And I honestly don't think there's more of an ironic way to say Happy 4th of July. I recorded this on the 3rd, but I'm going to drop it in the morning because to show just how patriotic you are than caring about your country, including caring about when it does things wrong. So with that, anyone who watched this, thank you. Stay strong. Remember to pay attention because a patriot is somebody who cares about their country, not somebody who blindly follows it. And, well, thanks for tuning in. Till next time.